This is KCR, the sound of state.
More and more. Because the nicest thing about hypnosis is that wonderful feeling of physical and mental relaxation that can now spread throughout your entire body. Because from this moment in time, there's nothing of importance for you to do except relax. Relax.
Hello. Welcome. Cool. I guess we got everything. Welcome to the first show of Scarlett Letter. I'm your host, Scarlett.
And I'm your host, Sam.
In this show, we'll expose you to the underground music scene in San Diego, specifically electronic music, ranging from genres like house, techno, trance, and more. We'll have guest DJs and updates on upcoming events.
So here's just a little bit about us. My name is Sam. I'm a local producer. I've been making music basically as long as I've been able to click a mouse. Actually, that isn't accurate. Ask my dad. He's been helping me click mice for much longer. I've been making music of all kinds, specifically a lot of electro house, future bass, future pop. I love those kawaii, chill, 24/7 study jams that everybody loves.
Yeah.
And what about you, Scarlett?
Well, me, I am passionate about music. Electronic music is my life. I've been involved in events either by DJing, performing, dancing, planning, promoting, basically a little bit of everything. I like to do everything and being involved in the community and just having a good time and trying to be professional at the same time. I don't even know how, but I'm trying to do it.
And killing it.
And kill it. And now I'm beyond excited to have this show and create something that we can all enjoy. And, you know, it's a dream. Here we are.
Ain't that the truth? So today we have a very special guest, and I guess the most special we'll ever have, because this is our first guest. He goes by the name Karma Black.
Woo-woo!
He's a San Diego-based DJ, producer, and experience creator. Welcome to the show, dude. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
So give me a little bit, dish the goss on Karma Black. What would you say you produce?
Karma Black is a character that I created when I was like a teenager. So I'm 27 right now, and there's like different stages into becoming Karma Black, similar to like Pokemon evolution.
Oh, I see.
You
So
know,
almost
so-
like different personas or evolutions of the same guy.
Yeah, it's pretty much a character that I feel that I was born with, and I've just been developing him. And as I mature and I grow, I become more focused, and I really know who he is now. But it took me like a long time to get to this point.
I see. So now that we've discussed the evolution of Karma Black, how long did that evolution take? When did you really first start assuming this persona?
Karma really came into effect maybe when I was like around 12 or 13. And it was just like a mental thing. It was just me creating this persona in my head. And then when I was like 14, I started executing a lot of different types of art platforms. So I was like doing like stencils, music, visual arts, video, learning instruments by myself. And that was basically a character that I call Vicious Karma. That was like all my aggression everything that I was going through as a teenager, right? Summed up into a two-letter name or two-word name would be Vicious Karma. And then that eventually evolved into just Karma. And I thought that was it for a long time. And then I just went with karma, but something didn't feel right. So eventually this year in 2018, after carrying the name Karma for 4 years professionally now, like in the DJ world, in the underground techno scene, I decided to add the black. And I feel that that's the final evolution. And from here on out, it's just creating a better version of Karma Black as time goes on. And I chose black because it's a very unique representation of essence and energy, which could mean like death, but also like being reborn. And to me, it's just a very mysterious color that helps you hide, but also creates some sort of like intimidation into people, you know?
That's really interesting that you describe black as being both a death and a rebirth. But at the same time, black, through its nature in the world of physics and in the real planet, it absorbs all the energy that it comes in contact to.
Exactly.
And I think that kind of embodies the energy you're going for yourself. You've obsessed over so many different art media, but now that you express yourself through music, it seems like you're really trying to push all that energy back out into the world.
Yeah, that's actually exactly how I feel.
That's really
Yeah.
interesting, man.
And trust me, he always wears a black shirt. He makes sure people know he's Karma Black.
Yeah, I'm usually wearing all black, like even boxers and socks.
Oh, you're going for that French mode fashion. I dig it, man. Nice and trendy.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. It's just like I feel very powerful when I wear the color black.
Wow, that's really interesting. I'm excited to hear your stuff. So, Scarlett.
Yeah, so now that we know a little bit more about our guest and about ourselves, of course, let's get down and dirty with some dark techno. We have a
Yeah.
mix by Karma Black right now, and I hope you guys are ready. Here is
Lay it on me.
Karma Black.
Do it.
I'm so ready for this.
Yeah, I'm actually very happy about this mix right here. I recorded it for the West Coast podcast. So shout out to my homie Ramin who runs that. Presented by Music is for Lovers. Shout out to Jimbo Roy or Jimbo James, who runs Love Life and Music is for Lovers.
right. You are listening to KCR, the award-winning sound of San Diego State. We are in the studio with Karma Black. You're listening to his great mix that he put together. We're featuring him today. He's a local producer. He makes all sorts of great stuff, and we're listening to some dark, deep techno beats.
My mic was.
Can you hear me now?
All right, and we're back.
Howdy, y'all.
Hey, what's up?
Was that amazing or what? I mean, I was just dancing around in the studio, just,
Literally.
ready.
I paid for the whole seat and I only needed the edge. Oh, man. So, what did you think of that mix, Karma Black? I think it's one of your best works, even though this is probably the first thing I've heard from you.
Well, I put a lot of heart into this one, a lot of thought, and it was very special because I was able to follow Worthy from San Francisco. He's with Dirty Bird,
Mhm.
so my podcast followed his, and then the one after mine was Christian Smith, who owns Tronic Records.
I see.
Who he's a pretty big deal in the techno world. So I'm pretty obliged that I got that opportunity to be in between two great people, and it was for the West Coast podcast, guys, and Music is for Lovers.
It must have been great to be sandwiched between such two respected and legendary artists in your eyes. And I know that you've been a friend of our co-host Scarlett for a
Hey.
while now.
Yeah, the homie, the homie.
Yeah, she's my homegirl.
That's why I'm like, I feel so happy and so honored to have like one of my homies be here in our first show. And it's just like, I'm beyond excited and beyond happy and like really
Me
thank
too.
you.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
awesome.
I just
Scarlett.
like, be me.
It's great to see her grow.
Is there something you want to ask him to get to know him better as a person? Because now's your chance. You got a captive audience. You can really pick his brain.
Oh, really pick his brain.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I wanted to focus on, because besides being a DJ and producer, you also create these amazing events called Divinity.
Yeah.
And I have questions because
Let's hear 'em.
I remember my first Divinity. I was like, what is this? Like, this is the most amazing thing. Like, the vibes, like everyone was like on the same vibe. Everyone was just like, like
Yeah.
you get into the room and you like, it's an experience. So tell me, what is the Divinity experience? Tell the crowd.
All right. So Divinity is a project that was initiated for the exploration of the mental self through the application of audio frequencies and visual frequencies, and pretty much all the five senses, actually. So Divinity, I picked that name because it's divine.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the whole point of Divinity is to get in touch with the deepest part of yourself.
Oh,
with,
yeah, I
with
feel
your higher
reborn.
self. And so the whole point is for you to get in contact with your higher self and to just allow yourself to be and let go of everything. So we're very accepting of a lot of people. Like we don't really care what you look like. We don't care your sexual orientation, race, like all that stuff ceases to exist once you enter the energetic bubble of Divinity. And our whole goal is to portray this industrial, like mental scape that's dark, but not a bad darkness. Almost like like if you've seen like the movie The Matrix when they're all dancing and raving in the cave,
Yeah.
and it's dark and it's a very intimate thing where people don't need to be talking; they just need to be there dancing, listening to the music, and enjoying the art and all that stuff. And that's pretty much what Divinity is all about. And as we grow, I keep on creating like new concepts. Like right now, I'm really focusing. For the last year, I've been focusing on Techno Sabbath, which is a party that we do once a month. Right now, we do it at Kava Lounge, and the whole point of Techno Sabbath is to get in contact with the sexual side, the sensual side of yourself. Like to allow yourself to be free sexually and not be like there's people who've been maybe like abused in different ways,
Yeah.
and in order for them to heal. Like maybe they want to feel sexy too. Maybe they want to be in touch with that sensual side, but they can't because they've been affected so like traumatically. So you can come here to Divinity, and be around other people who've maybe had similar experiences or who maybe don't share that experience but share a different experience that's traumatic, and you can just like kind of like
Set
like
free.
unco-
Let
yeah,
yourself
set free exactly. Yeah,
Like
and,
let loose.
and
Like
heal. The most important thing is to heal.
heal, and then I feel like after every show, I just feel like reborn. Like there's a part of me that, oh, I let go, like all my dancing, like because no one's judging there,
Of
and
course.
you can be as creative as you want, like with your outfits and with the way you present yourself. You dance, and then by the end, like you are usually are the person that closest, and you go the
Yeah.
hardest.
Yeah.
So that's like going out with a bang, and it's just one of like it's almost like a spiritual feeling, like
It's very
ending like
much
that.
a come as you are sort of thing. And I know I've been to a few events myself that had such a good environment. It was a curated crowd. I think that's the most important thing of any event.
Yeah.
Well, you just don't want to invite every old Joe Schmo to come out to that event. You want to make sure that the people coming really do understand the message and understand what you're trying to create in that
Definitely.
space. But I know a few of my friends have been throwing events in San Diego for years and years, and they've slowed down as they've gotten older and have children and other obligations, you know. So I feel like it's really great that the youth and the people in this community can have a safe, healthy space full of people who are proactively trying to encourage self expression in a safe way. And I think your music does a really good job of providing a backdrop for that and also enhancing the experience.
Hmm.
So,
Definitely.
to extend on that, what do you think of the current state of San Diego's underground music scene?
My opinion on that. Wow. Well, I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't like to BS around or any of that stuff. So I think that there are different aspects to the underground scene right now. You have the more commercial part of it, and then you have the really, really underground part. And I feel like the people right now doing most parties don't have a really clear like mindset of like where they really want to go with this. Like they're just doing parties just to do parties and maybe to be popular and to just maybe keep making money. You know, the ones that aren't making money. But like when I think 5 years ahead or 10 years ahead, I see divinity in other countries. I see me
Mhm.
traveling with my crew, with Scarlett and all my other
Hey.
homies, and just traveling the world and performing. You know, just how like just how Plex does his parties all over the world, or like the Tell of Us guys. That's exactly what I see, and so for myself. So here, the people, they I feel like their goals are very disoriented. They don't really know what they want, and their productions are not really happening.
Mhm.
And that kind of, and they're also like there's a lot of division and there's a lot of hate. There's a lot of people talking, like crap about each other, and just things that you wouldn't really expect happening, but it's all happening in the background. So like the crowd doesn't know about a lot of things, but when you're in the inner circle, you hear about what people do to each other, or like people doing events the same day that you're doing it just to take away from your people.
I think
And
that
Do
kind
you?
of infighting is what really erodes the overall essence of doing these events. Like you mentioned, you want to take Divinity internationally, and I'm sure Scarlett wants to follow on
Oh
that
yeah,
oh
one.
yeah,
I'll be there in Japan
yes, definitely,
performing.
of course,
It's about building that culture. And I know that as I've gone through, this is my fifth year of college, and I've gone to a few different institutions. I've traveled all around trying to find my crew. And then I realized I'd been building this group of people that I could really respect and follow, but they're not always immediately apparent. So I'm really glad that we were able to get these opportunities to express ourselves to such an open and accepting group of people. And I think that something we want to do with this show is not only feature local artists and producers, and even artists and producers from different parts of the country or even the world, but really we just want to breed this culture of acceptance. And I know that Scarlett's going to be hitting up her friend list, finding everybody interested and trying to give them a space where they can speak their mind. So I'm really glad we were able to get this going.
Yeah.
yeah. And like to touch up, like to finish what I was saying, just how I said like those like flaws in the scene, I would also like to talk about the positive aspects.
Yeah, please.
Because as I personally grow my own company, Divinity, I've met a lot of great people like Scarlett. Like now she's part of our team and she's a performer for us, and well, not for us, but like for the collective.
Yeah.
And just how this happens within Divinity, I'm sure it's happening with other crews, and it's good to see people follow their hearts, and like to see like my homies, like Halo Varga and like my homie Domar and Paulo, like how they're following their minimal dream, and then we have like other friends like my friend Susio, who he's more of like a tech house DJ, and he's starting to just do his own thing, and like but he keeps on producing and keeps on trying to spread the love, you know? So, yes, there's flaws in the underground scene, but there's also a lot of people with a lot of passion and heart and a lot of I don't know what the adjective is, but a lot of drive, I guess. A
And
lot of
passion.
hunger. Yeah. So, shout out to all those people
Yeah,
doing stuff.
shout out to everybody supporting Karma on his mission. I'd like to take this opportunity to say that you are listening to Scarlett Letter on KCR College Radio, AM 1610. It is the award-winning sound of San Diego State. If you have any questions, comments, you just want to say hi, feel free to call into the studio at 619-594-6982. We'd love to hear what you have to say, or if you just want to call in and say that you love us, that's always nice too. I love positive affirmation.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
All right.
So now we will continue with your mix.
Sounds
And
good.
yeah, because I feel like people still want to party. And whoever's listening right now, don't you worry. We got the rest of the set, so you can keep on shaking that booty.
It's Techno Tuesday,
It's Techno
y'all.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
And here we go. all right, and we're back. How was that? How was it part 2?
I'm feeling it deep in my bones.
I feel
Yeah.
it in my body. Mm-mm-mm.
I gotta say, dude, it's dark, it's passionate, it's all over my ears right now. This is the best thing I probably could have done with my Tuesday, besides studying, which I
Oh, yeah.
promise I'm gonna do. I know my
Or
parents are
Taco
listening.
Tuesday.
Techno
Oh.
Tuesday's better. You can
Techno
eat
Tuesday?
tacos. You can't really eat techno unless
Techno
it's like
Taco Tuesday
an
in Vegas.
auditory.
Hey.
I don't
Shout
know.
out to Tino.
I don't know who that is.
Oh,
Tino-
by
Ti-
the way, a shout out to Nick from Monterey, California, who
Oh,
gave
yeah.
us a call.
Hey, what's
and
up,
said
Nick?
some really positive
Shout
things about the
out.
show. Shout out. You're awesome.
If you call into the show, we may call out your name. There's dozens of people listening right now, I'm sure. We're
yeah,
a
like
pretty hot
5
commodity.
people, but it's totally cool. Just kidding.
Who's counting? Anyway,
No one's counting.
speaking of people listening, I had a question about something a little personal for
Yeah,
you.
what is it?
What was the worst you ever bombed at a show? I'm sure there's a lot of people listening who may be a little anxious to get out there and DJ yourself, and
Yeah.
it's not always the positive. So, what's your story?
The worst time I ever bombed. Well, there's a few instances where I was in my best. It was earlier in my career, but a very distinct moment that I can remember, I performed at the House of Blues, and I was performing in the main room of the House of Blues.
No.
Ooh.
But the event itself was just really lame because of the promoter.
Oh no.
So it was like a bunch of like rock bands and metal bands.
You were
Like,
out of your element.
it was like way different, right? And like people were not feeling it. And I was doing a duo back then with this one homie, so it was like Karma and Allegro, and
That's a cool name. It's a shame it didn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, it was meant to happen, but yeah, for some reason when I was up there, I know exactly why. So I just didn't feel comfortable because I was following a lot of metal bands and rock bands, and it was like you said, out of my element, and my performance was just like so bad now when I think about it. And I don't even know how my friends, like I had 8 to 10 friends there who went with me just to go see me, and I was kind of ashamed afterwards.
Sometimes it happens. One time when I was DJing in a high school party, and it was like a big bougie like Mexican high school.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
My whole equipment just shut up down. And
Yeah.
everyone started booing me. That was like the worst moment. One of the worst moments of my life. So at
'Cause it's
least
high school, that's why.
yeah, but at least you didn't get booed off the stage.
No, see, but that's like the one where I felt the worst personally. But I've hit the play and pause button on accident, and it's just like da 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 da. So then it's kind of like you have to like click it again on beat, and if you do it on beat, you're good.
It sounds like
You know,
hardstyle. It sounds
yeah.
like it was on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. But no, yeah, there's other times where you just like, I mean, I just played in TJ like 2 months ago, and straight up, I did this looping thing, and like the decks there were so bad that they're kind of like the programming is way off, like they're not calibrated. So I hit the loop button again, but it didn't do what they're supposed to do.
It didn't do the
Like an
thing.
example.
So
Difficulty.
so then like it just threw my tracks off beat, and everyone noticed. But I just like I just lowered the volume. I beat matched it like in 10 seconds or less, and I just like put it back
Yeah,
in.
play it up.
And I was like, "What's up?"
Yeah, it's part of the show, guys. No
Yeah.
big deal.
No big deal. As long as you laugh when you're on stage, if you smile, everything's good because everyone else is gonna be like, "Oh, he doesn't care."
Yeah, like a lot of people won't even notice, like, unless you kind of know about DJing or like have some background in music. Like people
Sometimes
don't really.
people notice though.
See,
When
the
if it's really obvious, yeah, but there's like some stuff that people probably don't notice.
The most
No,
valuable
yeah, for
thing I
sure.
ever learned was just how little DJs do when they're just trying to let a song play. There's so much work that goes into creating your record box before you even get out there. Your flash
Yeah.
drives are primed, your body's oiled up, you're ready to go.
Exactly.
But the second you get out there and you start touching things, it really just becomes a game of how many knobs can you twist and buttons you push before you take a drag off your cigarette and get your hair out of your face. But
Yeah.
honestly, it's all about the stagecraft of it. To borrow a word from professional wrestling, it's called kayfabe. Everybody
Okay.
knows it's an act, but the whole point is you never say it's an act. As
Yeah,
long as it's
uh-huh.
credible, as long as you believe what you're doing, you've created the best track list. You're there to entertain people. You're there to hype up the crowd, move your
Yeah.
arms, get everything going.
I feel you. Besides just like being confident, you also have to like feel the crowd.
No, yeah, definitely. Like he was saying, like you just have to go in there and be like mentally prepared to make people dance and have a good time. I usually pick a few people from the crowd Like Scarlett's actually one of those people that I pick. Like when she goes to my shows,
Oh yeah.
because like I know if I can make Scarlett dance, then I'm gonna make like the guys around her dance.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
So,
I
like-
dance hard.
So those things kind of work, you know what I mean? But you need to have a strong mind. Like to all the DJs out there, like try to not do too many drugs. Like know yourself,
Not too
limit
many.
yourself. Yeah, like if you want to experiment, go ahead and experiment, but do not like you need to be conscious of what you're doing. You're performing, you're professional. You got to make sure that you're not inhibiting your performance. Me personally, I like to just maybe take a few sips of some whiskey, before I play, and
Whatever works.
yeah, and like
Whatever
but
works
my
for you.
mind needs to be clear. Like I cannot go in there with a
You gotta
bad
stay
state of mind.
professional.
And I've learned that the hard way, because I've done the opposite. So I've been the DJ that.
It's okay. We all
Yeah.
make mistakes and we
Definitely.
live and we learn and look at you now.
Yeah, as long as you learn from them.
Yep.
Now he's getting featured on KCR College Radio.
Oh
and
yeah, whoop whoop.
He's doing his own little spot. And I always remember what my biology professor said. This is just before he took off for 6 months to go catch rockhopper penguins with Leonardo DiCaprio.
What?
He lives a very cool life. And he said, as long as if you need something to free your mind a little bit, be it music, art, or a little something, something, as long as you're being true to yourself and standing in what you believe in, no one's going to mind. And eventually you get to
I'm
catch
definitely
penguins.
down for the little something.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
all I'm saying.
So you got a show coming up, a Divinity show this
yes,
Saturday.
Yes. Yeah. So this Saturday, at 9:00, we have the 13th installment of Techno Sabbath.
Woo woo.
And we're featuring our homie Memorex with Desert Hearts Records and Ethereos, our homie Sal's Omega with the Ion Omega Squad, and we have two residents who will be playing. We have DJ Delos, and we also have our other resident, Hokum, it will be his birthday, so he will be playing a very exciting birthday set. It's going to be super awesome, dark vibes all night from 9 till 2. And everyone's welcome as long as you're 21 with an ID and you get your ticket. You're welcome to come in and enjoy some of our mental darkness.
Mental darkness.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
So I want to give a quick shout out to my boy Stonefish. I know he's listening wherever he may be in the world.
Stonefish.
Everybody check him out on SoundCloud. He has this album out called Canyon Kids. It's got some pretty sick tracks on there. And I would say it's just the chill beach vibes mixed with complex electro. My favorite song is the eponymous The Beginning at the start of the album. And shout out to my familia for listening.
Ooh. Shout out to
vibes.
everyone that's listening. And just thank you for the support. And thank you, Karma Black, for being
Thank you so
here.
much. I really appreciate you
It's
guys.
been
This was awesome.
such an honor.
We're going to be doing this every single Tuesday, whether you like it or
Or
not. At 9
Yeah, you're stuck
p.m.
with us. Tuesdays at 9 p.m.
All right. We appreciate you guys coming out. Thank
Yeah,
you so
thank you,
much,
man,
Karma
so
Black.
much.
And Scarlett, you want to bring us back to the beat zone for the time we have left?
Oh, yeah. Are you guys ready?
I am
just
so
a
ready.
huge shout out to everyone who's been supporting us and who's been supporting Scarlett. Look at her own radio show now. I'm very proud of you, girl.
I know.
Thank you,
Keep
San
on
Diego
doing
State.
it. Yeah,
Brings a
so
tear
awesome.
to my eye.
I know. Thank
I
you.
love you, San Diego.
I'm grateful that I have friends that support me and that I have a super awesome co-host that we just met that same day. We clicked and it just happened, and here we are
Life.
making
Happy
magic. Making magic.
I love techno.
I love techno.
Just so everyone
Oh,
knows,
really?
I love techno.
Well, I
And I-
thought you liked country.
And I like the color black too, just in
Oh.
case people didn't know.
Oh, okay. I guess. Well, you're wearing white.
I don't want to hear him.
All right.
I don't want to hear him bloviate about country anymore. Let's bring him back to the techno zone.
Oh,
Yeah.
Techno Tuesday.
Let's do it. Thank you guys.
drinks